You know how some people get all worked up over whether Coke or Pepsi is better? Well, that's pretty much what's happening with ETFs and index funds. But here's the thing. The difference may not be as big as everyone says. In fact, when it comes to your FIRE journey, this whole debate could be much ado about nothing. Imagine this. You're at a fork in the road, one path labeled ETF, another labeled index fund. Both paths look promising, but which one should you take? Stick with me and I'll guide you through this financial maze. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the difference between ETFs and index funds, but you'll also learn why the choice may not be as monumental as you think. Spoiler alert, it's all about strategy, not semantics. Hey there, I'm Jason from 40 North Finances. My wife Darby and I retired at 39, and here we break down how to make, save, and invest money to achieve financial independence and early retirement. Today's video is all about demystifying ETFs and index funds, two investment vehicles that often spark heated debates among investors. But here's the twist. We're not just going to look at these options face value. We're diving deeper to uncover whether choosing between them really matters for your FIRE journey. First, let's start with the basics of ETFs and index funds. Now, I promise this isn't going to be a snooze fest, so bear with me. There's some good stuff here. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are the Swiss Army knife of the investment world. They're investment funds that trade on stock exchanges just like individual stocks. You can think of them as a basket of stocks or bonds that you can buy and sell throughout the day. Their prices fluctuate based on market conditions, so if you're the kind of person who likes to keep an eye on the market, ETFs give you that instant feedback loop. Buy low, sell high, or at least that's the idea, right? On the flip side, we have index funds, which are a type of mutual fund. These funds aim to replicate the performance of a specific index, like the S&P 500. Unlike ETFs, index funds are only priced once at the end of the trading day. So if you place an order during the day, you'll receive the price set at market close, just like everybody else. It's like ordering a meal that you don't get to eat until the restaurant closes. You're not watching it cook, but you know it's coming. Now let's dive into some key differences between ETFs and index funds, and more importantly, how these differences could impact your journey to financial independence. First up is trading and pricing. ETFs are like a live action movie. Things happen in real time. So if you're the type who enjoys reacting to market swings and making trades during market hours, ETFs are your go-to. You see real-time price changes, which can be exciting or nerve-wracking if you're actively managing your investments. Index funds, however, are more like a book. You have to wait until the end to see the full story. No matter when you place your order, you get the same prices as everyone else who bought at the close of the market. This can be a bit more relaxed for those of you who prefer a set it and forget it approach. You can kind of think of it as slow cooking your investments. You set it, forget it, come back when it's done. Now let's talk fractional shares. So imagine that you're craving a pizza, but you don't want the whole pie, maybe just a slice or two. Most index funds require you to buy whole shares, so it's like having to buy the whole pizza, even if you only want just that one slice. ETFs, on the other hand, often allow you to invest in fractional shares. This means you can invest smaller amounts and get a piece of the action. It's like buying just that perfect slice of pizza without committing to the whole thing. Now here's something that might catch you off guard. Minimum investments. ETFs are like that casual friend who doesn't need you to dress up to hang out. They usually have no minimum investment other than the price of one share, making them accessible even if you're just starting out. A lot of index funds, on the other hand, can be like that fancy restaurant with a dress code. They require a minimum investment, often around $3,000. But don't worry, many investment platforms are starting to reduce or eliminate these minimums, so it's getting easier to join the party. Now, here's where it gets interesting. VTI, an ETF, and VTSAX, an index fund, both track the same total stock market index. This means whether you choose VTI or VTSAX, you're essentially getting the same exposure to the entire US stock market, with just a few minor differences. So if you've been losing sleep over which one to pick, you can rest easy tonight. As for us, we stick with VTI and Schwab Brokerage because they align perfectly with our investment strategy. The truth is, the difference between an ETF and an index fund hasn't really impacted our journey to early retirement. It's more about consistency and sticking to a plan rather than getting caught up in the debate over which one is better. See, here's the thing. Whether you go with ETFs or index funds, the difference might not be as big as it's made out to be. The real game changer isn't in the type of investment vehicle you choose. It's in the overall strategy you build around it. So don't get hung up on the details. Instead, focus on creating a solid investment plan that works for you and then stick to it like glue. Early on in my investing journey, I made quite a few classic rookie mistakes. I got caught up in buying individual stocks, thinking I could outsmart the market. Well, spoiler alert, I couldn't. I also obsessed over whether to go with ETFs or index funds, much like you might be doing now. I was right where you are, stressing over the details and missing the bigger picture. But here's what I learned. Once I got the basics down and shifted my focus to saving diligently and investing regularly, the choice between ETFs and index funds became almost irrelevant. The real key was sticking to a plan and looking at the big picture. The day-to-day differences between an ETF and an index fund just didn't matter anymore. It was like realizing that whether you drive a Honda or a Toyota, the most important thing is that you're heading in the right direction. And here's another nugget from my journey. I used to think I needed to be perfect with every decision, choosing the perfect investment, timing the market just right. But the truth is, perfection isn't the goal. The goal is progress, consistently moving towards your financial independence. So don't sweat the small stuff. Focus on making smart choices consistently over time and let the power of compounding work its magic. So to wrap it all up, both ETFs and index funds are rock solid choices for your path to financial independence. The key is to keep your costs low, stay consistent with your investments, and focus on a solid strategy rather than sweating the small stuff. So if this video gave you some clarity, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on reaching financial independence. And share this video with anyone that you know who's caught up in the ETF versus index fund debate. And if you got any questions, drop them in the comments. We're here to help. Remember, reaching financial independence isn't about making every decision perfectly. It's about staying focused and making smart choices consistently over time. So keep investing, keep learning, and keep pushing towards your goals. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.